The panicked boy pointed to the sky. Look, the sky's on fire. The man raised his head. God, there's something burning in the sky. Something's wrong. Now a lot of fighters are flying over the top of their heads. And then a huge flash of light came through the sky. The man who had just seen the news knew. It's a comet going through the atmosphere. It's going to fall into the Pacific. It will not endanger the Earth. A man named John took his son to the supermarket. Suddenly John's phone rang. The message is a presidential alert. Then I got a call. It's the security department. They told you. The giant broom is about to crash into the Earth. The Earth is about to be destroyed. John is the senior architect to be chosen. You can take Theo's family into exile. The time the Earth was destroyed. Only 20 hours left. John looked around to be sure. Only I got the phone. Then hurried home with his son. There were a lot of military vehicles on the way. John is conscious. It's not as simple as the news says. The neighbor is sitting in the house watching the live stream. About how the broom fell. I don't know why. The star broom is supposed to fall into the Pacific Ocean. Suddenly disappeared. Then there's a really loud sound outside. John had to rush out. In the sky every flock of birds flew away. Next, a massive shockwave hits. John was suddenly shot. The door glass is also broken. News and news. Broom doesn't fall in the Pacific. It fell to Florida. Blink. The city is getting hot and it's looking at the coverage. Everything instantly turns to dust. Hundreds of thousands of people are leaving the world. But I don't know how many stars have not fallen. And everyone's covered in fear. Then on TI-6 appeared the name of John's family. Remind me to hurry to a safe haven. John's phone received a QR code to identify the identity. But your neighbors get nothing. John and his wife packed their bags. Get ready to go. The neighbor with her daughter wants John to take them with her. John's wife wants you to take her with you. But he refused outright. In this situation, it is difficult to take care of your family. Don't worry about your family. John stepped on the GA leg. The highway was packed and couldn't move. John took the shortcut to the shelter. There's only 16 hours until the Earth is destroyed. Here soon was so tightly encircled that it was impossible to get out and go there. The airport is equipped by soldiers. Down on a tight guard. Only the person who received the notice from the security department just got into John and edited his QR code. Get in and prepare to board. This place has 9 transport planes. Everyone was given a bracelet. You are only allowed to bring 1 suitcase. When checking your luggage, John's wife didn't see her son's insulin. It turns out their son has diabetes. John remembered. Maybe I left it in the car so I want to get it. John asked the soldiers, wearing the bracelet, can you enter and exit freely? The soldier can speak. John rushed to the car to get his medicine. John's wife is waiting for her husband. My husband never came back. So she asked the soldier to find John. While asking for help, talk about your son being sick. The soldier just heard that. What's wrong? Call the captain immediately. The captain knows the child. They are not allowed on the plane. Because they want the genes of the chosen ones. They're all healthy genes. So anyone who's sick can't get on a plane. John's wife was taken to headquarters. She begged the female officer to open her eyes and close her eyes. But the enemy is dead. John's wife is furious. If this is your family, why? The female officer replied, Miss, none of my relatives were chosen. 99% of the soldiers here are not selected. These 2 words kept John's wife quiet. I can only accept the truth. Take your son out to find a husband. But now a large number of people are starting to riot. Kick down the barrier, trying to get on the plane. The comet is about to hit the Earth. 15 hours until the Earth is destroyed. Because they can survive, everyone is against. The army burned itself in the direction of the life plane. Soldiers reluctantly opened fire on them. The soldier is filling up the plane that was shot down. The fuel doesn't stop flowing out. John gets the drugs from the car. Go back to find your wife. His wife and son were not on the plane. The person next door who saw you holding insulin told you. The patient is not. Get on the plane. John hurried down. The fuel leak is likely to explode. I urge everyone to evacuate. Not too far away, the plane exploded. John saved everyone up there. There was a continuous explosion at the airport. Minutes of smoke and fire. John's wife was kicked out. Take your son back to the car for medicine. Thus escape a life. Now the boy's diabetes is back. The phone lost all signal. She had to leave a message. That I went to the pharmacy recently looking for medicine. The pharmacy was robbed. She had a hard time finding insulin. Suddenly a gunshot went off. It's a gang of robbers with guns that's coming to an end. They want to take the drugs. John's wife let her son out. He was about to get to the door when he was stopped by a robber. John's wife begged the soft robber to forgive them. John's wife pleads for help from a couple driving. They decided to give us a ride. The man driving the car. I accidentally saw the bracelet on John's wife's hand. He knows it's the symbol of the chosen one. Getting a bad idea. He stopped the car and pressed John's wife. Get out of the car and steal your arm. He took his son and left her on the highway. The driver goes to the next shelter. 2 husband and wife. He impersonated John and his wife to get on the plane. Over there. John saw the message his wife left him, so please hitchhiker. Another car. A black guy in the car said to John. Bonku in the ground of the army. It's built in Greenland. But isn't everyone kind in the world? They're after John's bracelet. But you didn't give it. Everybody's in the fray. Fighting back and forth makes the car lose balance. One folding brake driver. Everybody shoot out. John fell into the grass with his face covered in blood. Then we fight again. In just 13 hours, the Earth will be destroyed. John shuffled little by little in the grass with his hand for the hammer. It's not far away. Fortunately, you caught the hammer in front of the enemy. One step two men rushed to. They want to steal John's arm. Because a living wage is nothing anymore. John swung the hammer accidentally hand killed a person. Others are afraid of running away. John walks to a small town. Soon a shadow of John broke through the door and opened it. The whole world is in chaos. John drives the landlord's car. Leave a message and I will definitely return it. He drove to his father-in-law's house. He's playing cards. I'm not worried about the end of the world. Only John came. The father-in-law is angry at his daughter and granddaughter. The relationship between father-in-law and son-in-law John knew he was too weak to say he was lost. Now can only wait. John's wife was robbed of her child and went to the next refuge. Now the couple is stealing. You're going to the airport. The boy suddenly said, "They're not your parents. They stole my arms." The soldiers decided to save the boy. The soldier knew the boy was rejected due to diabetes. Give the boy an insulin shot. John's wife quickly found her son. The soldier took his mother and son to his grandfather's house. The whole family finally reunited. Only 10 hours until the Earth is destroyed. They found bond care underground in Greenland. Via the news, John decided to bring his family. Canada flew to Greenland first. But his father-in-law didn't want to go with them. He said this is his home. John's mother-in-law is buried here. He wanted to protect her his whole life. Now a piece of Sao's broom is falling, not far from the house. Blinking creates a huge shock wave. The boy screamed softly in the room. John and his wife rushed in to see that RA had to leave. John's father-in-law said he drove his car full of gas. Before leaving, the father-in-law gave John his only gun and tell them to take good care of them. I know you can do it, son. Always nodding furiously. The whole life between you two is resolved. The boy doesn't know. This separation is goodbye. I should ask my grandfather. When can I see you again? Grandfather tried to stay calm very quickly. When it's all over, I'll come to your house. Let's go see the polar bear. The old man kissed me for the last time. Goodbye to girls is the hardest thing. You just hugged each other and said love. In the end, everything can't be put into words. John's wife got in the car, crying like rain. This trip is goodbye. Car starter. Everyone is extremely attached. Then take my wife's hand for me. Must try to live on. He looked at the shadow of the car. Now a comet is flying through the sky. The only way to get to Canada. They're so jammed they can't move. Then countless pieces of Sao small brooms fell down. It's like a bomb hitting the roof of a car. John immediately drove into the forest. He drove under the bridge and told his wife and children to hide below. John's arm was injured because he saved someone else's. The radio announced this time. The city that dad. My wife was destroyed by a satellite. The comet is about to crash into the Earth. It will cause a strong earthquake. Led to a tsunami 1,000 feet high. 900-degree winds will sweep the Earth. At the speed of sound, the Earth's surface water will completely evaporate. In 4 hours the Earth will be destroyed. It's dark. The whole family continues to struggle. We finally got to the airport. The last plane is now taking off. John drove straight into the plane. There's no other way. The captain had to make an emergency stop. And then he insulted John so badly. John did not resist. Asked the captain to take his wife. The plane was packed, and the captain was out of his way. John had to pray. If he doesn't, he won't drive away. The captain had to agree. John's wife didn't want to leave him. The captain was also helpless to ask how much John weighed. John said 70 pounds. The captain suspects you're telling the truth. I'm actually 80 pounds. The captain still couldn't believe it. I can't be honest, John snapped. It's 115 pounds. The captain is helpless. That's a lie. You can't carry any weight. You can't carry any luggage. Finally got on a flight to Greenland. On the plane, people look at the green. The water below is about to level off. Suddenly the sky lit up. A huge, broom-sized Sao splinter that fell to the surface of the sea. Extremely large shock wave. This causes the plane to lose momentum. Plane head plugs down the bottom. The captain did his best to get the plane over the mountain. One end crashed into the snowy mountain. The plane landed safely. The captain and co-pilot lost their lives. John and the others are on their way. Only an hour until the Earth is destroyed. They're gone for a long time. I finally saw the army truck. A truck goes to. A good soldier takes everyone to the bunker. Underground. Right now. It's only 2 minutes before the big broom hits the Earth. People are speeding into the shelter. John found a bed and sat down. The Earth's crust began to shake violently. 3 people hugged each other. John remembered the good times. For so long human civilization. Now in just a few short minutes. Destroyed into rubble. The whole Earth turned to ash. 9 months later, the main door of the underground care deck opens. 2 birds flying in the air. The survivors. We can finally rebuild our homeland. This movie is the end. This movie is called Meteor Cataclysm. Question: do you believe that the end of the world will come? If yes, press 1, otherwise press 2. If the end of the world really happened, what would the scenario be? Earthquake, tsunami. Don't tell AD he's a zombie.